Welcome to the Secrets of College Planning. I'm your host, Anthony Uva, and today we're going to get some insight into Teachers College at Columbia University. My guest today is Dr. Tani Castaneda, and she is the Chief Enrollment Officer at the Teachers College at Columbia University, and welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you. Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, so Tanya, you've been on the show before, and tell everyone where you went to college and the process of going from there to where you are today.
Sure. You can call me Tani. I'm Tani Castaneda. As you said, Anthony, I'm the Chief Enrollment Officer and AVP for Teachers College at Columbia University. And I was on the show last February, while I was at Rutgers University and serving as their Associate Vice President for Enrollment Management. So I started in this position in December of 2020. So I'm just about 5-6 months in now to this new role. Where did I go to college? I went to Wellesley College as an undergraduate. That's a women's college in Massachusetts, a truly incredible liberal arts college that I loved, one that challenged me academically, certainly helped me become a better analytical thinker, opened my eyes to a lot of different paths, and I think most importantly, kind of helped me understand that there should be no barriers to opportunities for women. How did I get from there to here? That's quite took a lot of time. That was about 25 years ago now. So I think one of the reasons why I've chosen to situate my career in higher education is because of how much my own higher education meant to me and my development. So certainly that personal connection I have to the college experience and the way it influenced my life had a lot to do with my pursuit of a career path here at institutions of higher education. I love to learn too, and so being in an environment that's in part founded to sort of create knowledge is really inspiring. I had some early career skills that I had gained in recruiting and marketing and market research and counseling, and those skills are a very good fit for this type of work in enrollment. My formal education training is in anthropology and psychology and organizational leadership. And so I have a bachelor's degree, 2 master's degrees, and a doctoral degree, and have always been interested in human organization, helping people thrive in their environments. And, this is kind of what we do at a university, is helping students succeed, become successful. And so really simple, it kind of comes down to just wanting to see people thrive, and education can be such an instrumental part of people's success.
So tell me, as the Chief Enrollment Officer for the Teachers College at Columbia University, what's it like? What do you actually do there?
Yeah, so my role as Chief Enrollment Officer at Teachers College, which is a graduate school of education, health, and psychology under the Columbia umbrella. My job is to oversee a number of offices. I oversee the Office of Admission, the Office of Financial Aid, the Office of the Registrar, and 2 smaller offices dedicated to enrollment marketing and enrollment strategy. So what does all of that mean? What am I thinking through on a daily basis? So my team is thinking through how to engage future students, how to help them learn about Teachers College at Columbia, the degrees we offer, whether that engagement is through email, through social media, website, video. We're trying to help students understand what it is that we offer, what the application process should look like, how students' applications will be reviewed by our faculty, how students will be notified of those admissions decisions. Through my division, we also award financial aid. So the loans, grants that students could be eligible for, scholarships that might be unique to Teachers College, and awarding those out to students. And then once a student decides to join us through our Office of the Registrar, We're doing all of the course scheduling for each semester. We're getting students registered for courses. We're tracking their progress to attaining their degree, right through to graduating and issuing their diplomas, is what we're doing.
Wow. So people that come to the Teachers College, are they're graduates of any particular school? And what are the requirements to get into the Teachers College?
Yeah, so students who are coming to Teachers College have decided they want a master's degree, they want a doctoral degree. Sometimes they just want a certificate to sort of lift their skill in a certain area. We have over 100 programs at the master's and doctoral level, all within the areas of education, psychology, and health. Some broad areas like teacher education, some really niche areas like biobehavioral sciences. So because there's a lot of variation in the types of degrees that we have, we attract a lot of different types of students. Some are coming to us straight from having received their college degree, their bachelor's degree. Others are coming to us with decades of experience in their fields. And they might be pursuing really different paths, right? Someone looking to become a principal, for example, or a teacher is going to be on a different path than a student interested in international development or speech language pathology. But generally, sort of the baseline of requirements, students have a bachelor's degree or should have a bachelor's degree by the time they're going to join us. They need to have shown that they're academically high achieving students. Some programs do require the GRE, or they might accept the GMAT, which is, pardon me, another graduate test score, standard of entry. Letters of recommendation. We ask for a statement of purpose too. So we're asking for the student to make a connection between their academic preparation, their professional interests and goals, and their potential or their promise for the program to which they're applying. Resume, give us a sense of their professional background and the experiences they've had. And in some cases, depending on the program, there might be an additional component like a writing sample that could be asked of them. But that's kind of a baseline of typically what's expected of our applicants.
And what's the average amount of students that come to this Teachers College? Do you get quite a number from all over the globe, I guess?
We do, from all over the world. We're 25% international students, so they're coming from every corner of the earth. We've got about 5,500 part-time and full-time students altogether. Many of our students are pursuing their degrees part-time because they are professionals and have other career obligations.
So when a student comes there after they graduate college or they've been in the workforce, what can they expect?
Yeah, so a number of different things at TC. We're a top 10 graduate school of education. The faculty are really incredible. They are leaders in their field. They are innovators in their fields. They can expect to have a lot of contact with their professors. They are learning directly from those experts. We have a lot of students who are interested in pursuing research. And certainly if they're entering into a doctoral program, that is going to be something that's expected of them, whether that's pursuing their dissertation project. A lot of the master's students are pursuing independent research projects as well, and they'll be working right alongside faculty with faculty advice. There are a lot of other supports in our community too for students. So, they may be receiving academic advising from their faculty, but we have an office for student health and wellness, a student affairs, student life office, our TC Next office, that's what we call our career services office. That's an office that specializes in both the broad as well as sort of the niche areas that our students are specializing in and earning degrees in. We're also an institution that's been from the beginning very dedicated, to social justice and very proud of the fact that our diversity, equity, and inclusion office is something that was founded 20 years ago. So the idea of access, of equitable access to education, to service in a college environment has been something that's always been really important to both, us as an institution, but I think the students who come to us are attracted to that social justice mission as well.
Now, a full-time student compared to a part-time student,
Mhm.
how quick do they finish at the Teachers College compared to a part-time student?
Yeah, I think it really depends on the student and how quickly they wanna go through it. I myself have been through, a full-time master's, a part-time master's. I did my doctoral degree part-time, so it's certainly possible to balance these things. A master's degree student going full-time can finish in 1 year or 2 years, depending on the program. If they're a part-time student, it might take them a little bit longer. Maybe it's 3 years, 4 years. A doctoral student who's going full-time, that might take 3, 4 years. Someone who's going part-time, it's going to stretch out a little bit longer, according to kind of what they can handle and how many credits they could take per semester towards their degree.
So how many credits do they have to get to finish up at Teachers College?
Yeah, so that again is dependent on the program too. There might be master's degrees that are 40 plus, 30 plus credits. There are doctoral degrees that are 70 plus credits. And so it depends on the field that they're pursuing. But it's pretty standard for master's degrees and for doctoral degrees, the number of credits that they would find in any given discipline area.
Now, if someone's interested in going to school there, where do they find the information? Is it just online, or is there someone from the school that goes out and talks to different places to find these types of people?
Yeah. So when students are pursuing graduate school, there's a number of outlets of information. Of course, the website, our website is tc.columbia.edu, teacherscollege.columbia.edu. All of our programs are listed there, all of the faculty within the programs. Typically, when someone's looking at graduate school, they're looking at getting more depth in a particular area than they would have gotten at the bachelor's level, right? It's sort of bringing up their level of expertise. And so very often, especially if the student is pursuing a doctoral degree, they're looking really closely at the research that the faculty are doing. They're looking really closely at what the faculty are publishing, what conferences they're going to, and what they're speaking about, because they want to find a faculty member who is aligned in the same research area that they, as a potential student there, have an interest in. So doing a lot of in-depth research, probably more so than a student would have done coming from high school and going into undergrad would do, is really important. And then, yeah, just like an office of admission at an undergraduate institution, our folks are hosting events. They connect with career services offices, because at a lot of undergraduate institutions, the career services offices are the ones that are organizing graduate fairs, graduate school fairs. And so we are attending those types of things. We are hosting tours and our own events to introduce our students to programs. Of course, during COVID, everything has been virtual. But it's actually made it a little bit more accessible, I think, to students from many different places, that they can sort of come on a virtual tour, attend a virtual program without having to physically be here.
So now, are most of the students that come just graduating from college, or do you find a lot of teachers coming in to extend their experience, or is it more of the science field of people coming in and trying to expand their experiences there?
It's all of that. We have students who are coming to us straight from their undergraduate degree. They kind of more certain of what they want to pursue, and whether that's they'd like to become an educator, they'd like to explore a field, another helping profession like mental health counseling, for example, or they've found something really inspiring about nutrition education, or spirituality and psychology, or education policy, and they know that they want to go into those areas and get more depth in that type of area to pursue that field. We have people who have been working and have already, certainly had many career achievements in their fields coming to us and saying, I'm ready to take the next step, and I'm ready to get that depth that I haven't had before, or I'm looking for a particular certification in a particular education area. And then, sure, we get folks, and this is kind of a common use too, I think, or utility of a graduate degree, who want to kind of pivot on their careers a little bit and make a shift. And a graduate degree can be a way to do that. And so all three, and probably many more than I can count, of types of students are coming to us.
So now you also talked about financial aid. Is
Mhm.
most of the financial aid through the students that are coming from undergrads, or do you get the financial aid because most of the adult students that are coming, they're already working. So are there companies or their schools picking up whatever the amount is of the school?
I wish I could say that for most that's the case, but the reality is that graduate school is an investment just like undergraduates. Sure, there are students that have support either through their own personal means or through their professional connection, but most students are relying on a combination of loans, grants, and scholarships. So those loans and grants, which would be common at any graduate school as a mode of support for students, are federal loans and federal grants. And then we have scholarships and different awards, fellowships, and things like that are specific to Teachers College that we can award on top of or in place of those loans or other grants. But students really do need to think about planning for graduate school. And I know it's even becoming more common now for parents, of students who are coming out of high school, going into their undergraduate degree, to sort of be thinking ahead to, is there going to be a master's degree or a doctoral degree layered on top of that bachelor's degree? So it's important, but I do think it's one of the smartest, investments that people can make is in their education. It's one that returns a lot, to people in terms of just the number of opportunities that are opened up to people after, they're educated at the higher institution level.
So one question that comes to mind on scholarships,
Mhm.
is there any way of giving us an example of what requirements they need to have to get a scholarship?
Yeah, so our scholarships are very variable. There are some general scholarships that we award through the Office of Financial Aid, where we are looking for, really high achieving students who demonstrate a very strong fit for the program that they have applied to, and that can be demonstrated through their personal statement, their statement of purpose, the letters of recommendation, their professional experience. Certainly if they've had experience career-wise that's aligned really well with the program, that can make them a strong fit. Our faculty are very involved in the review process. And so, they're reviewing applications. They are, considering students for those scholarships as well. And so I think that's a potential. Then we have sets of what we call sort of endowed awards, where those particular awards are for students who, um, an alumni may have given this award and they want it to go to a student with a particular interest or a particular background. And so there are more specifications that we need to consider around those types of awards. But yeah, I mean, there's a wide range of them available. But I think starting with, making sure the student's really academically competitive and a really good fit for the program, that's probably kind of the baseline of what we're looking for.
So is there a lot of written information that you need from the students when they apply for these scholarships?
Yeah, so the scholarship application is something that's built right into our application for admission. So every student who wants to be considered for a scholarship, we ask them that directly. Do you want to be considered for scholarships at Teachers College? And they let us know. And then if they say yes, there's a few questions that we ask them to gain a little bit more information. Not anything as extensive as the application for admission, because that's already a lot of substance for us, but a little bit more information to give us more insight into them.
So now you're at Columbia University. Can you give everyone a sense of Columbia University, where it is, what it's like, what the atmosphere is like?
Yeah. So Columbia University is 120th Street, situated in the Harlem area. That's where Teachers College is. It's a really vibrant community. The Columbia campus is a beautiful campus. It really feels a little bit insulated from the rest of the city, and it's very widespread, but it's in a really culturally unique area, a really kind of robust and kind of vibrant sort of area. There's always something going on, and Harlem is really unique because it's very residential. So there's a lot of interaction with the community, and Teachers College itself has a lot of relationships with the area schools and other institutions in the area. I myself, having joined Columbia as remote in December 2020, am certainly looking forward to our time back on campus. And so all of the institution right now is planning for fall 2021, this coming fall semester, to be back in person and on campus. So we are all preparing with the appropriate precautions, health and safety and whatnot. But I think all of us are looking forward to kind of getting back and seeing students and seeing faculty and staff more frequently.
Yeah. So you're in New York City and towards the Bronx area of New York. And how close are you to Times Square and 42nd Street and all that?
Yeah, that's so we're pretty far up there. So maybe that's what 50, 60, 70 blocks away. But everything is a subway ride away, or a bus ride away. It's pretty easy to navigate. I found in visiting the campus, the times that I have been able to go, it's pretty easy to get around. And there's parks in the area. We're not far from Central Park, and it's just really beautiful.
Great, fantastic. Well, we're coming to the end of our show, and usually I ask my guests, what advice do you want to give to the adults out there that are looking to get certificates, looking to get a more of an education in the education field or the science field of some sort? What advice do you want to give them?
Yeah, so for those interested in pursuing, fields of education, psychology, health, and kind of everything in between that's helping humanitarian type of professions, I think it's important, to always think about education as an investment in one's future. I think, Teachers College being a top 10 graduate school, and it's an innovator in its area. It's a really strong education, but do the research to find the right fit. I think, just as we think about sort of right fit, At the undergraduate level, we think about it at the graduate level as well. I think it is something to consider, as an undergraduate too, that you may want to go on to graduate school. And so, thinking about how well you're doing as an undergrad throughout that 4 years is going to be very important too, because we're looking for academically strong students. Financial planning is really important. On the one hand, many students are supported at the undergraduate level by their parents or others. Graduate students are considered to be independent. And so, whether you have support from your parents or not, we find that most, graduate students are supporting themselves. So having planned for that is a smart thing to do. And I think making a practical decision with the graduate degree type that you choose is really important. It certainly should, feed a desire to learn about something more in depth, but it should have a practical purpose, I think, that furthers your career prospects in one direction or another, that a student's really thought through. In other words, don't pursue a graduate degree just to pursue a graduate degree. Have a plan with that graduate degree. I think that's really key.
Well, thank you very much for coming on again. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you, Anthony.
Yeah. So you've been watching The Secrets of College Planning. I'm your host, Anthony Uva. Until next time.